Joining us now, currently from Florida, to talk some BYU basketball is former Cougar standout Eric Mika. And Eric, we need to begin by clearing something up with as it pertains to metrics and where you were in terms of stars and like overall prospect coming out of high school.
Apparently you were pretty good in high school.
You were number 28 and Colin Chandler is number 28. So you two are tied, right? This is accurate information that I'm putting out there?
I can't speak for Colin. I don't know where he finished, but I know for me, I was number 28 by the end of my recruitment and the end of my senior year. So I think we're tied. I've heard a lot of non-real facts out there saying that he surpassed me. I don't think that's
fake news. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think that's actually true.
Okay, I'm looking at Colin right now, 32nd in the ESPN Top 100.
Position. What's that?
Colin Chandler, 32nd, and you're the highest rated recruit in BYU history. We take it back.
Colin number 32.
Oh, wait, you can't see me. I'm celebrating. My hands are in the air.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hey, now, in all seriousness, what's that like when you are such a highly touted product like that? And your path is a little bit different than Colin because he went right on a mission, and so he'll start at BYU as a freshman after his mission. You played, then left, and then came back. So what's it like going through that process of coming back as a return missionary and having just massive expectations on your shoulders?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I can't really speak to completely how it's going to be like for Colin because, yes, he went on a mission first, but also just the landscape of college basketball right now is so different from when I was leaving high school, you know, with NIL, with the transfer portal, with the platform that these guys have on social media and with TV rights and deals, like it's completely different. You know, I feel like coming out of high school, I didn't really understand the gravity of the stars that I had, of the recruitment that I had, of the, you know, the ranking that I had, you know, because it wasn't like it is today. You know, it wasn't, oh, you're a top 40 guy, you know, that means you could potentially be drafted in, you know, 14 months or whatever it is from high school to the draft the following year. You know, now everybody knows everything about everyone that's coming out of high school. And so, yeah, I did feel some pressure. I felt some expectations were definitely kind of thrust upon me from the beginning, but I don't know. I was just a kid that was hooping, you know. There wasn't these crazy expectations of you know, committing to a certain path and a certain career, which is the NBA, from, you know, before I even really knew what I wanted in life. So I do think it's hard to comment on that, but for sure he's going to have a lot of expectations. He's going to have some pressure. But I also know Colin, and I know he's a good kid and a very hard worker, and also very capable of delivering on those expectations. He's a great player. So I think he's going to be fine. I think he's just excited to get home and get into shape. That's a hard process in and of itself. So once he gets that ball rolling, I know he's going to be stoked.
It's going to be fun to watch in this upcoming year. Regarding BYU and preseason hype, today a lot of way too early top 25s have come out after the national championship game. BYU's in all of these. They're essentially consensus as high as 10, as low as 25. Are you buying the hype that BYU should be a top 25 team going into next year, given that they finished as such in the AP poll going into Selection Sunday?
Yeah, I think I buy the hype. I mean, you can't define a season by, you know, one game, and that's what I think a lot of people are doing with the early exit from the NCAA tournament. But it was the NCAA tournament, and they had a good seed, and they were ranked all year, and they were returning a lot of minutes, a lot of starters, a lot of production. So, like, why wouldn't they? You know, and these way too early top 25s are bogus anyway. So I don't know why anyone would argue against it. I like the continuity or the continuation, the continuity, the yes, like I said, there's the one game, but there was so many good things to take from this season and so much momentum that I don't see why we wouldn't perform at a high level going into next year.
So the big question mark for BYU this offseason, Eric, is what is going to happen with Jaxson Robinson? Is he going to come back for one more go, or is he going to enter the NBA draft? He's projected everywhere from mid-second round to late second round. Again, you've gone through these processes. You have been an NBA draft prospect. You've been in the NBA for a little bit. You've been with the G League. What advice would you offer to Jaxson as he contemplates a huge decision?
Yeah, again, a very different landscape from when I did it. I've heard rumors of crazy amounts of numbers being thrown at him, whether they're true or not. There's got to be some truth to it, right? They wouldn't just be totally made up and put out into the world for no reason. So I do think he has options to make really good money if he stays in college. And I think he's going to be a very good pro. So that's what makes the decision tough. I think for him is either way he's going to be successful. I think there's a lot of different paths to make it there. There's a lot of ways to make money before you get there. I think again, the landscape being what it is and the many different routes that one can take, I think he should absolutely test the waters. I don't know why he wouldn't. They built it so that you can, and then you can, retain your eligibility and come back. So I think he should absolutely do that, because you get into these workouts. I did 16 pre-draft workouts, so they're exhausting. You're flying all over the country. You're pitted against 5 other guys that are trying to rip your jersey off your back. You're all trying to get the same thing. So you get a real feel for, okay, do I have a chance? Am I built for this, or do I need to go back and work on a couple things? So I think he should absolutely test the waters. He should do those workouts. He should get as much feedback as possible from the people making these decisions, from general managers and coaches, from all these people sitting in and watching these workouts. Their gut instinct is going to tell him, yes or no, if he's going to make it right now, or if it's going to be in a year. So my recommendation is do that. Absolutely test the waters, and whatever's best for him and his family, he's got to go with that. It's going to be tough. One decision, the one that doesn't get made is, it's going to be tough for that half of whoever's cheering for that decision.
You are a guy who has played in the NBA. You played a lot in the G League. How do you see him fitting as a professional?
Yeah, I actually, when we were at the Winter Showcase in Orlando this year, I talked to a couple scouts, LJ Rose actually being one of them.
Nice.
Who was my teammate at BYU, and now he's with Houston. I talked to Austin Ainge with the Celtics, and we caught up on a couple different things, and then I actually brought Jaxson up to kind of pick their brain. And I remember one thing that LJ said. He was like, well, if he keeps making shots, it makes his life and it makes decision makers' lives a lot easier. So I see him fitting in with exactly what he's done in college. That's why he's getting the attention that he has, is he makes shots. He spreads the floor. He knows exactly what his role is. He knows what it will be at the next level, and that's what makes it translate. He's got great frame, great size and length, and he makes shots. So I see him fitting in basically anywhere you put him. Obviously, he's got to get a little bit stronger. Defense is imperative, and everybody needs to get better at their defense once they get to the big leagues, and he'll work on that as well. But I think he can be a really excellent 3-and-D guy from very early on.
Eric Mika is with us on BYU Sports Nation. And Eric, you experienced the NCAA tournament as a freshman when, unfortunately, you got to that game against Oregon with no Kyle Collinsworth because he had torn his ACL in the West Coast Conference tournament. But still, you went through that experience and the emotions and the pressure. And then you watch BYU this year get upset by Duquesne. And after just a remarkable season for so many reasons, they left with this bad aftertaste. So knowing that, what advice would you give to BYU in terms of where you feel like they need to improve to get better so that they are ready for the next pressure-packed NCAA tournament opportunity?
Yeah, I would just urge the guys, and I'm sure I'll be in the gym with them this summer, and so I can tell them face to face in case they're not watching this morning. But I would just say to make sure that, yes, recognize that there's a bitter taste, and I just hate that there's so much focus on this loss. You never want to finish the season with the loss, but only two teams, the winner of the NIT and the winner of the the big dance are the only two teams that finish with a win.
Yeah.
So, you want to advance, you want to get one or two wins, but to make sure that they also remember all the good that they did, because there are improvements needed. There's things that every single guy needs to work on, but they already know those. Those are, these are high level, high achieving athletes. They know all season long, and they know the second it's over what they need to work on to get to the next level. If they don't know it themselves, their coaches have already had multiple meetings with them, and they're working on it with them as well. So they know what they need to work on to bring their individual games to the next level, to bring their game as a team, as a collective, to the next level. I would just urge them to also remember what got them there, what brought them so much success, that chip on their shoulder that they had, the contributions that each of them made, and the winning plays that each of them made in the various games when they stepped up, to make sure that they remember that and embrace those parts and cultivate, those skills as well. So they know what they need to work on, but I just hope they also remember what they're really good at, why they got to where they got, and how they need to bring that again next year.
They're not going to be picked second to last. We know that going into next year. Probably, 6th, 7th, or 8th in the Big 12. So they'll have to create that chip on their shoulder in some way. But we do want to ask you what's next for you in your basketball career. I know you were banged up with the knee injury this year.
Yeah, knee, we're just taking our time with the knee. It's end of this month is 6 months since I had that knee surgery, and it's still responding a little bit slower than we had hoped initially. So we're just giving it time. We're playing it by ear. Obviously, Ignite isn't going to be a destination that I'll be at for multiple years like we had hoped. But number one priority right now is just, being at home with the family, resting, and getting this knee healthy, and we'll go from there. But the options are kind of anything and everything. They're all over the board, including some ideas we're having outside of basketball as well. So yeah, we're just gonna let you know when we know.
Well, you're doing some work outside of basketball already with your podcast. It's called Now for Later, and it's available on all the major podcast platforms. So how are things progressing with your podcast as you continue on with that venture?
Good. It's been a lot of fun. I truly enjoy doing it. Right now I'm host, I'm editor, I'm producer, so I do everything, which is a lot of work, but to me it's worth it. They're great conversations with incredible guests. We had today we had an episode that just came out with Carmelita Jeter, who's a gold medalist, track and field gold medalist from 2012. She won the 4x100 with a couple of other track and field legends, and I mean, she was really, really great, big time. She's the UNLV head coach right now, so that's how I got connected with her. And the week before that, we had Justin Sua, who was a BYU baseball player, who's a mental performance coach for a lot of big time athletes. And the week before that, we had Danny Ainge. So just for me having these conversations is awesome. Like I finish an episode and I can't believe the gems that these legends of their respective fields are giving to me. So it's been a lot of fun.
It's called Now for Later. Eric Mika is the host. We appreciate you stepping outside of your A-list role there to hang out with us, Eric. All right, man. We'll talk to you again soon, brother. Best of luck on the podcast.
Yeah.
And please let us know what you're doing with your basketball career. Let us know when you decide.
What's that? I will. I'll let you know. I also want to just clarify for anyone watching, I'm only wearing red because this is my former team in France. They're playing in the Euro Cup final, so I'm trying to send them good vibes from the other part of the world. I would never wear red on a BYU, well, just red in general, but I want to make sure that's clear. I want to make sure that's clear when Mark Pope watches this, so I don't get a text from him.
You got to rep your former teammates for sure. Well, the exception is allowed there. Eric, great to talk to you, man. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Eric.